Hey guys, I'm really excited to share this video because it is going to reek, hopefully, of transparency. So many of you ask me, PK, you share so much content on YouTube, we appreciate it. We want to see more of your deals. We want to actually see the properties your clients buy themselves using your course, using your support, using your mentoring. And now I interview clients. There's probably about 50 interviews, client interviews right here on YouTube. There's a whole playlist, you can check it out. But for my YouTube community, you guys don't get to see the actual properties, the actual numbers, the actual pictures, how my clients got them, the actual just nuts and bolts. What matters most? The profit, okay? The growth and the profit. So that's what I'm going to do in this video. There are so many naysayers. They say that property investing is no longer feasible in 2022. They say that you need to buy in Sydney and Melbourne to get good long-term and short-term results. They say that everything is going to fall off a cliff because that is what the big banks are saying and have always said. All these things are so incorrect. And on the point of transparency, look, I'm here on YouTube. I can say anything I want. I might be making stuff up. I could be speaking out of turn. I could just be fibbing and hoping that you guys don't catch me out. Now, what I do on my Facebook group is actually just reveal everything and tag my clients, okay? So every 2 days, every second day, and I've done this for, I would like to say years, I share a real deal, something that a client has actually bought, okay? And I tag them, all right? So I don't think there is any other course provider, buyer's agent, property investment company. There's no one else in Australia, I'm telling you this, that is so transparent, that actually tags their clients in a Facebook group with more than 10,000 people and does this every second day with a new property deal and has been doing this for years. Okay, so why am I saying this? It's not to, with kind of a boastful chest, a big chest, trying to make myself out to be better than others. It's really not. What people lack is honesty. What people lack is transparency. I think the biggest reason why people don't believe in or invest in property or grow their portfolios because they've had some of them rip them off. They've made a mistake. They think all these Facebook ads, YouTube ads, all these property experts, are just trying to make money from them. And that might be true for some of them. And it, even for myself, this is not a charity, right? It's a business. But a business means that if you add enough value to someone's life, then they will compensate you for it. It's an exchange of value. And if you do that transparently, honestly, and successfully, that business grows from strength to strength. And that's how my business has grown from strength to strength, by being transparent. So let's take you through 4 property deals. I'll share my screen. If you're not already part of my Facebook group, I'm just going to be sharing you my Facebook group, right? Posts, right? And the clients are tagged. You can DM them if you want. You can message them. It's all hell for leather. You can do what you want. It's full transparency. I'll take you through the numbers. So let's do the first one. So, and by the way, none of these are like cherry picked. These are all just very recent ones. I could take another 100 and I might do so in subsequent videos. So on the 29th of December, I posted this one. So this was for a client, Adele. I said almost the best deal of 2021. Okay, 6.3% yield. All right, so what that means in the current interest rate environment, even if you get a 4.5% to 5% yield on interest-only basis, that is giving you more money than it's costing. It's positive cash flow. All right, this is 6.3. So even if he was paying principal and interest, he is still banking thousands of dollars every single year out of this property. Now, this is the best bit about it. It's $110,000 or 22% under market valuation. Now, there's this school of thought that says you can never buy anything under market valuation because by virtue of you paying that has become its market valuation. Okay. Another school of thought is vendors or sellers will never pay or never allow you to buy their property under market value. Like, why on earth would they do that? All right. I'm here to tell you, and look, my group has got 11.4 thousand members. All right, we're not just doing a sneaky here. This is genuinely and truly $110,000 under market value, 22% on the way in. All right, show me a buyer's agent who can do that. Okay, there ain't none. Okay, you don't need a buyer's agent to achieve these results. He got this instant equity enough to buy another or fund another 2 deposits. So taking even 70,000 of that 110, that's enough for another 2 deposits. And he bought this in regional New South Wales from Sydney remotely without needing a buyer's agent. All right, so you can see he's tagged here. You can DM him if you want. Purchase price $390,000, 300, valuation 500, discount as we said almost $110,000, rent 475. All right, so the purchase price is 390, rent is 475. That's how you get this 6.3% yield. Okay, that's positive cash flow. That's a profitable business, you could say. Vacancy rates, regional New South Wales, people have this kind of hoo-ha, this preconception that regional areas, hard to find tenants, couldn't be further from the truth. Vacancy rates, you generally want to be less than 2%. That's a tight rental market. This is as tight as you'll get. Huge block that he could even subdivide, 860 square meters. Now, it's not a poor quality build. It's not that he's just got a great deal because it's a crappy property. Concrete and brick is the build quality, not timber or fibro. You can't get better than this. Like I said, he can subdivide that. Location is regional New South Wales. He bought that from Sydney, didn't catch any flights. All the due diligence was done by local property manager that we put him in touch with. They inspected the property, local building and pest inspection guy did the structural fidelity checks. Everything was done remotely. He just skipped the middleman, right? He just skipped the middleman, a buyer's agent, to save $15,000. He did this all from his bedroom. He's self-sufficient to do this again. And yes, he's building passive income. All right, so that's the first one. Second one, oh, here's the photos, by the way. So, inside you can see it's completely renovated. On the outside, is it a beautiful property? No. But if you rendered that brick and tidied up the landscaping of the grass, this would look, beautiful. This is how you can buy properties with value add potential whilst being under market value, with great capital growth and with positive cash flow. Okay, it's the 4 sides of a diamond. That's what we're looking for. And by the way, this was executed late last year. I want to say like around October time. Like I said, bought this for about $390. It's worth about $550 right now. Okay, so bought for $390, worth $550 right now. Almost $200,000 of gain, of growth, of value, of equity in literally, 4 months. Okay, next property, real quick. This one was 6.6% yield, okay, and it was under $300,000. He got 5% instant equity on this. We'll get to the numbers in a second. Bought interstate remotely. Once again, if you're in Sydney, you're in Melbourne, you're thinking I need to buy in Brisbane, Adelaide, WA, regional areas. You don't need a buyer's agent. Everything can be done remotely using a property manager. And of course, in my course, I teach you exactly how to do that. But some high-level videos are available right here on my YouTube channel. I've interviewed 2 property managers. Go look for that. It was about 2 months ago. And they've spilled the beans to some extent on how to do that. Go check it out. And this was the client, Andrew Sherhata. You can DM him. He's a real person, although he doesn't have a profile pic, as you can see. But real guy, lives in Sydney, even though this says Canberra for some reason. Purchase price $250,000. All right. So once again, for those people who think that you need $500,000 to buy a property, you don't. All right. You just don't. And for those of you who think that a cheap property like this is going to look crap, I'll get to that in a second. All right, so this one was actually in regional South Australia. To buy this $250,000 property, he didn't actually need more than $30,000. Okay, how does that work? All right, how does that work? So 10% deposit on $250 is $25 plus some transaction costs. So call it $35,000. That's all he needed. By the way, this was bought in around October time as well. This is already worth $310,000. Okay, so $60,000 of growth is a massive improvement on a base of 250. We're not talking 10% growth here, all right? We're talking like 20, 30% growth in 3 or 4 months. The valuation was 263 by the bank, by comparables. So that's why we say 5% instant equity. The rent is 305, so it pays for itself and then some, all right? Positive cash flow after all expenses. We're not like hiding some expenses here, it's after all expenses. Vacancy rate is even tighter than the last property that I showed you. So, it's hard being a renter in this kind of market. Huge block, 783, bought from Sydney, remotely in South Australia, caught no flights, had all the due diligence done by the locals on the ground that we put in touch with, free of cost, completely self-sufficient to do this again, and is building passive income. All right. You just can't get better than that. And I should say as well that the previous person that I shared, Adele, he's actually becoming a buyer's agent. So I'm actually, in my course, I never thought it would be this way. I just thought I'd be helping new people or experienced investors build their property portfolios. But actually, we're churning out buyer's agents these days. All right. So here's what the property looks like. $250,000. Look how nice it looks. Everything's renovated. This is a $250,000 property that has already gone up more than 25%. It's just making so much money. Third property, this is from Harsha, who lives also in Sydney. He's actually bought 4 properties in 2021. This is just the most recent one. I've posted all of this. So if you join my Facebook group, search his name, you can DM him or whatever. You can see all the other properties that I posted that he's bought as well. $100,000 capital growth since October. Okay, so I'm recording this right here on the 11th of January. Since October, this thing has gone up $100,000. That's no small thing. 5.6% yield, so it's positive cash flow. This is what I'm talking about, positive cash flow plus growth. This is what you need in this day and age. With borrowing capacity, lending restrictions the way they are, you need to really have that diamond strategy. You need growth and positive cash flow every single property. You don't get that in most capital cities, not least Melbourne, Sydney. There wasn't even a sales agent involved in this one. So not only was there no buyer's agent, there was no sales agent. Harsha did this all by himself, and he's married, kids, IT job, they're busy. This wasn't a part-time job, and he saved $60,000 across those 4 properties by not using buyer's agents. Okay, so that's $60,000. Guess what? That just goes into another property. That's a deposit for another $400,000 property or $350,000 property. So by using buyer's agents, not only are you getting inferior results, you're putting your financial future in someone else's hands and just hoping for the best because you're convincing yourself that you don't have what it takes. But also you're limiting how big your portfolio can grow because you're leaking money into someone else's pocket. So purchase price $435,000, rent $470. Okay, positive cash flow thousands per year. Vacancy rate incredibly tight. Once again, build quality, brick and tile, location, regional New South Wales. He was in Sydney, like I said. Caught any flights? No. Had local due diligence done? Yes. So he's not buying sight unseen. He's not just trusting the photos online. Not that there was for this one because it wasn't even listed by a sales agent. He's self-sufficient. Clearly he's bought 4 properties now, all by himself. I've barely helped him. He hasn't even asked many questions. And passive income? Yeah. Once again, I just want to stress, look, it's a nice brick property. There's nothing wrong with this property. Don't think that we're just getting these deals because somehow or other we're getting dud properties. That's just not the case. I'm not sharing this to gloat. I'm sharing this to inspire, but more importantly, I'm sharing this to instruct, to improve your knowledge, to educate of what is possible. Harsha literally, like at the end of 2020, he literally had no properties. He had no passive income. Now he has tens of thousands of dollars of passive income. He's already got $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 of equity, and he's got 4 properties under his belt. That I don't know what to say. Next one, another client with 4 properties in 2021. And once again, I'm not cherry picking them. You can go here to my Facebook group. Every 2 days I post these deals. You can judge whether these are any better than others by yourself. Once again, this is the latest one, 6.3% yield, $45,000 under market value by settlement. So in the 2 months following, his contract exchange, it grew by that much, or close to that much. And he bought this one in South Australia from Sydney. So I've shared a couple of regional New South Wales, shared a couple of South Australia ones. Join the group. There's plenty of WA ones, Queensland ones, Victoria ones, regional Victoria, I should say, etc., etc. So purchase price 355, valuation 400, negotiated $20,000 in the conditional contract period. Okay, so this was after exchanging contracts. He was able to negotiate even more. So if you're thinking, hey, I need a buyer's agent, even just so they negotiate, you don't need to. You learn all this. It's so simple, right? There's nothing wrong with the property, by the way. He just used really advanced negotiation techniques. Rent 430, so compare that with the purchase price of 355. Once again, speaks for itself. Vacancy rate 0.19, tiny. It can be subdivided because it is a large block. Brick and tile, great quality, South Australia, like I said, bought from Sydney, caught no flights, all due diligence done, is doing this again. In fact, he's buying another property. He actually just bought one. I think he messaged me the other day. I'll share that one as well. Building passive income. I mean, here's the property. Do you think there's anything wrong with this property? The building and pest inspector guy definitely didn't from the inside. Cul-de-sac, nice quiet block, brick, beautiful house. I wouldn't mind living in this house. It's really nice. So look, I'm not sharing this as a purely salesy type video. I'm sharing this because I want to be transparent. All these people, you can message them. They're real people. They're all tagged. There are hundreds of these posts in my Facebook group. Please, please, please don't buy my course blindly. Please understand what my clients are achieving. Please interact with them. Please be part of this community. And once you trust me, once you vibe with this, once you understand that you don't need a buyer's agent, you actually don't. I don't care if you only have 2 or 3 spare hours in a week after putting your kids to sleep because you're both husband, wife, both partners are working, whatever the case is. You can still do this by yourself and get these amazing, amazing deals in 2022. All right, so hopefully I've, unveiled what is possible, revealed what my clients are achieving. Those of you in the Facebook group already know this, but those of you who aren't on here in the YouTube community, please join the Facebook group. And I just want to say this as well. Don't have the mindset of negativity. Don't pick holes in deals. Don't pick holes trying to find faults. Ask how. Rather than asking if, ask how. Myself, my clients, community members, they will answer your how, right? Because, it's like before they went to the moon, it's like, can we really go to the moon? And after they got there, the Russians were thinking, how did they get there? It's possible to build a 6-figure passive income. Ask how, all right? Not if. Build your trust. Trust is the only currency that matters because clearly these deals are possible. My name's PK. Hit subscribe if you got value. Please give it a like. That way this YouTube video reaches more people on YouTube. More people can get educated. And lastly, I'll leave links below if you want to step up. Free podcast, the Facebook group link below as well. Please, please, please be educated. Don't throw your money away to a buyer's agent who will just smoke and mirrors you all day of the week. Catch you later. Bye.